We are live, and we are here today to our On the Top Twin Oaks podcast with, who are we here with today?
Hi, I'm Charlene Jade.
Charlene Jade, and Charlene has graciously invited us in so that we could see some of the wonderful things that she is doing out with her organic gardening. Can I call it organic gardening?
It's just community gardening.
Community gardening. All right, well, Charlene, take us through
So in this plot, we
garden.
have some tomatoes. These are these are grape tomatoes, and those are yellow pear tomatoes. And those are going to be beefsteak tomatoes.
These right here.
Yes. And around you see all these flowers. These flowers are called marigolds. They help protect the tomatoes from pests that would otherwise attack them. Here we have celery. And here we also have some lettuce that bolted, so now it's bitter. And we also have red onions growing down here as well. And there's also basil to help protect the tomatoes. So I interplant like this to help protect the main crops that I'm growing, because otherwise these could get really attacked by a lot of different pests. So the marigolds, the smell of the marigolds help protect the tomatoes. The smell of the basil help protect the tomatoes. The smell of the onions also help to deter pests, and so does the smell of the celery.
This is amazing. So it's not just a matter of haphazardly planting a bunch of vegetables. You sound as if you're very strategic in regards to what you're planting here, and because it supports and helps and accompanies the other crops.
Yeah,
That's
basically.
fantastic.
And you also need to be mindful of what doesn't grow well together. Like say putting like potatoes and onions together, I think they say is bad because they're both heavy feeders. There's some more beans over here. I chose them too late, so they're not
Come
doing
down
that
into
great.
there and get a close up. Where are the beans now?
There's some right here, and there's a bigger plant over there. This is amaranth. In Jamaica, we call this callaloo, and we eat the
Callaloo.
greens, but it's also a grain. It's going to start putting off grains pretty soon. And we also have a ton of yellow bush beans.
Bush beans. Oh, I see them hiding down in there.
Yep.
Now, all of these things that you're growing, Charlene, let's get a close up.
Do you want to eat it?
I don't know. I don't want to spoil my dinner.
Okay.
Now, these are all things I take that you bring from the garden to the table. All of these things you prepare when you're dining and having meals?
Yeah, sometimes. I sometimes eat the beans and these peas for snacks. I need to build a bigger trellis. One thing I'm learning about is literally having enough climbing space for climbing plants, and how to maneuver around plants that you didn't know were climbing. Like these cucumbers were supposed to be bush cucumbers, but it turns out they spread out, put out vines, and they're actually climbing. So,
They're reaching up to the sky.
yes.
Now, what is this right here that I'm looking at? Is that a watermelon?
No, that's
Charlene?
more than likely, it's either an acorn squash or a butternut squash.
Okay.
Probably an acorn. Hoping for the butternut squash to... over here is the butternut squash. So, you see this flower down here?
I see it at the
This
tip of it,
is a
yes.
female flower, and these, without any bulbs on it, is a male flower. I'm going to get a butternut squash there because that one fertilized.
All right. Okay.
And here we have some chamomile.
Now, Charlene,
Yeah?
I don't see any stakes or labels or signs in the gardens. You just know everything from looking at it, I take it.
Sort of. So some of these, I planted some pickling cucumbers and some slicing cucumbers, but because I don't know where the labels are anymore, they could have blown away, I could have thrown them away. But because of that, I don't know which one's which, but you can still eat them. This is chamomile. These flowers right here, you turn this, the chamomile tea you buy in the store.
I do. I've seen it.
This is what it is.
I've seen it in Myers.
Yep. At Myers. And we have some peppers. This is green peppers.
Oh,
These
I
are
see them.
actually
Yeah.
rainbow peppers. there's some white peppers over here. And over there, you're going to see some purple peppers. And over here, we have some spaghetti squash one thing to remember about, these are called cucurbits. This and squash and cucumbers are a part of the cucurbit family, and they're going to vine and take over. So you have to be ready with some trellises so that they don't start choking out your other plants.
Wow, you have a lot going on here, Charlene.
I do.
Yes, we're going to take just a moment and take a break here, but we'll be coming right back with Charlene Jade and her beautiful, and I might add, delicious garden.
Yes.
And we'd like to thank you for joining us with Community Gardening with Charlene Jade. Stay tuned for part 2 coming up soon.